What is mental illness? How do we describe mental illness? How would you describe mental illness?
Torture.
Despair.
Mentally exhausting.
Reality.
Sadness.
Alone.
Suffering.
Battle.
Important.
Stigma.
Complicated.
Unfair.
And suicide.
Many people with a mental health disorder don't get treatment. They may think it won't help, or they don't recognize the symptoms. Others may not be able to afford treatment. The social stigma of mental illness also stops people from getting help. This often means worsening the symptoms. In some cases, it leads to suicide. Mental illness is as real as diseases such as heart disease or cancer. But understanding that mental illness is not a weakness or a character flaw helps people get help. Some of the more common mental health problems include depression, anxiety, and panic disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar disorder, substance abuse, schizophrenia. Mental health problems may be passed down through the family, or they can occur because of abnormal brain chemistry, substance abuse, or in response to traumatic events or an abusive environment. In other words, a mental illness isn't the fault of the person who's suffering. Learning about developing symptoms or early warning signs and taking action can help. Early intervention can help reduce the severity of an illness. The symptoms are like feeling sad or burnout or useless. Everyone feels down from time to time, but if that emotion continues for more than 2 weeks and you also have the feelings of guilt and hopelessness, it could mean that you are depressed. Severe and persistent symptoms are what distinguish depression from normal sadness and mood changes. Other symptoms of depression are sleep problems, loss of self-esteem, not enjoying things once you did, and ongoing worries and fears. People who have unrealistic or extreme anxiety about life could have an anxiety disorder. Sudden, intense anxiety, fear or panic, heart palpitation, chest pain, trembling and faintness can be signs of panic disorder. Unexplained physical symptoms, ongoing physical symptoms can signal emotional upset or stress overload. These symptoms include headaches, stomach aches, chronic pain, especially back aches with no clear cause. Chronic fatigue or lack of energy. When your body cannot handle emotional overload, it can shut down. Feeling too tired to do the things you used to love or can be sign of emotional distress or depression. Staying away from other people, spending all your time alone instead of with your friends or family could be a sign of stress, overload, or a social phobia. A mental illness can make you miserable and can cause problems in your daily life, such as at school or work or in relationships. Mental illnesses in general are thought to be caused by a variety of genetic and environmental factors. The first one, inherited traits. Mental illness is more common in people whose blood relatives also have a mental illness. Certain genes may increase your risk of developing a mental illness, and your life situation may trigger it. The second one, Environmental exposures before birth. Exposures to environmental stresses, inflammatory conditions, toxins, alcohol, or drugs while in the womb can sometimes be linked to mental illness. The third one, brain chemistry. Neurotransmitters are naturally occurring brain chemicals that carry signals to other parts of your brain and body. When the neural networks involving these chemicals are impaired, the function of nerve receptors and nerve systems change, leading to depression and other emotional disorders. 1 in 4 people in the world will be affected by mental or neurological disorders at some point in their lives. Around 450 million people currently suffer from such conditions, placing mental disorders among the leading causes of ill health and disability worldwide. Watch this.
How do you feel being diagnosed with a mental health condition?
I would say it was not that big of a surprise.
There was a lot of self-deprecation and hate.
I think I just went home and locked myself up in the room.
I was able to accept it. I was a psychology major, but it took me a while to be aware that I have it.
Does it run in the genes?
It's an age-old question. It runs in my family, definitely. So I was losing my mind and I didn't understand myself, why I couldn't breathe. I felt I was going to die. But your brain sort of tells you, and your body is telling you that you are dying, but you're not.
Both of us we experience it very differently. The main symptoms are, hearing voices or seeing hallucinations, and I heard voices. Yeah, so
Must be very scary.
I guess. But I think my parents were suspecting oh, I got a third eye or something. But very specifically, it was telling me that the people around me were going to hurt me.
There is no sure way to prevent mental illness. However, if you have mental illness, taking steps to control stress, to increase your resilience, and to boost low self-esteem may help keep your symptoms under control. Pay attention to warning signs. Work with your doctor or therapist to learn what might trigger your symptoms. Make a plan so that you know what to do if symptoms return. Contact your doctor or therapist if you notice any changes in your symptoms or how you feel. Consider involving family members or friends to watch for warning signs. Get routine medical care. Don't neglect checkups or skip visits to your primary care provider, especially if you are not feeling well. You may have a new health problem that needs to be treated, or you may be experiencing side effects of medication. Get help when you need it. Mental health conditions can be harder to treat if you wait until symptoms get bad. Long-term maintenance treatment also may help prevent a relapse of symptoms. Take good care of yourself. Sufficient sleep, healthy eating, and regular physical activity are important. Try to maintain a regular schedule. Talk to your primary care provider if you have trouble sleeping or if you have questions about diet and physical activity. The sun will still rise tomorrow if I kill myself. Flowers will still bloom if I kill myself. The radio will still play unbeat music if I kill myself. Yes, these things will keep happening. But please, seek help. Don't struggle in silence, because you are stronger than you think you are.